Bismillah. This is Field Notes Occupation, a Noble Savage reproduction. I'm Dr. Zara Khan. In today's episode, we are looking at religious freedom in the Holy Land. At 1 o'clock on Friday afternoon, during our visit to the West Bank, our Muslim delegation arrived to the Al-Aqsa Mosque compound. We heard the call to prayer. Now, Friday afternoons represent a compulsory prayer for males, Muslim males, to observe in the mosque. All the other prayers may be observed at home or anywhere else on earth, but during the Friday noontime prayer, males must attend in the mosque, and they must attend the services that are provided before the actual prayer. So what we saw outside Al-Aqsa when we arrived there, just in time for the mandatory Friday prayer for men, we saw large crowds at Al-Aqsa's gate. And, these are always guarded by the Al-Aqsa security forces that make sure that only Muslims are entering into the sacred space of the compound. But there's also an extra ring of security of Israeli police. And for the Friday prayer for Jumu'ah, we came to find out that there is a special measure in place. Men below 45 years of age may not enter. So what we saw was excessive police force and, unarmed, non-threatening civilian men who were there to attend services were being handled by the Israeli police, not being allowed to enter in order to fulfill their religious obligation and do their prayers in the mosque. One policeman separated an 8-year-old boy from his frail, white-haired grandfather, and the boy was crying and afraid, and he was saying, "Ya Baba, Ya Baba." The grandfather pushed him away gently, telling him to go back to his mother. The policeman pulled the boy's shirt quite violently from behind and flung him about 6 feet to his mother. Now, the men who were under 45 years of age were lined up outside the Al-Aqsa Mosque compound, and they could hear the sermon that is delivered right before the prayer and is a part of the prayer. They could hear it over the loudspeakers, but they were not allowed to enter. And as soon as prayer had come to an end, the Israeli police allowed them to enter the compound. We were told by a local resident of Jerusalem that this is how it's been for more than 20 years. We started our report back with police intimidation. This course started in the first episode talking about police intimidation. And, everywhere in Jerusalem we find Israeli police officers and Israeli soldiers. Here is an office of the Israeli police just outside the compound, not far from where we had observed the prayers, within the old city walls of Old Jerusalem. Police are everywhere, police vans, police cars, police officers. You can see them here near the gate to the old city. Here again, this is right by the door to the old city. Here they're stopping a merchant and his cart and looking through his papers before allowing him to pass. Municipal services we find in the old city of Jerusalem are also not equally distributed and provided. So there are 4 quarters in the old city: the Jewish quarter, the Muslim quarter, the Christian quarter, as well as a non-denominational ethnic quarter that is quite historical in its community. And we were told that there's very little or sometimes no trash pickup at all in the Muslim quarter. We also learned that the license plates of Muslims, when they apply for their license plates, are heavily restricted, which means that they can only drive their cars a fraction of the time in Jerusalem compared to other groups who are there. We were able to visit inside the Al-Aqsa Mosque compound in Jerusalem, the sacred mosques that are there, as well as the sacred site of the rock that has a very significant meaning for all Muslims, because this is where the Prophet Muhammad ascended to heaven and spoke with God.